We're sliding into a new era at the Project Dreamers with this OneFinity CNC machine. We are so excited to unwrap this build with you. Let's dive into some things that we did to get this machine started. So you might be on the edge thinking, is this machine worth it for me? And let me tell you, this has been a game changer for us. It has opened us up to so many ideas, and in order to get this thing set up, we purchased this Infinity cutting tools, not to be confused with OneFinity because they're not affiliated in any way, but we purchased this Infinity cutting tools steel base with the rolling wheels on here to kind of build this thing up and put the machine on, and it saved us some time in our build. It took us about a day to build this base. So let's dive into some key items that we've incorporated into our machine build to make things easier for us when we're doing our projects. First, let's talk about the spoil board right here. The spoil board is made out of 3/4 inch MDF. It has grid lines on it, and it also has threaded inserts so we can lock our projects in place. This system makes securing projects extremely easy, and we have since upgraded the bolts to Allen heads so we don't have to fumble with a screwdriver. So this Masso touchscreen comes with a protective film over the screen right here, and we decided to leave it on for right now, just as an added protection. It doesn't hinder the ability to use the screen at all. If in the future we want to add some further protection, better protection, then we'll remove this screen, and they do make a screen protector that we can purchase. Let's talk about homing the machine. So right here on the screen you can see that this home button is flashing yellow. If we double tap that, then the X and Y bars are going to come right to the beginning of this machine, which is your home base. When you unbox this machine, the X and Y bars move by itself, one at a time. In order to change this, we went into the settings and we made it so the X and Y bars function at the same time. So when you hit the home button and you double tap, both the X and Y parts are moving at the same time. It gets to the home base faster. Let's try it out. As you can see here, once I've double tapped the home button, the X and Y axes begin to move at the same time towards the home position. In order to change or update the homing position, go to your F1 setup screen, then double tap the homing button. This screen is where you change your settings. If you look at sequence 2, X and Y have been checked. That indicates that your X and Y axes will move at the same time. We kept the homing speed at 40 inches per minute. We don't recommend increasing to more than 60 inches per minute, but you can do so at your own risk. When you're finished, don't forget to hit the save button. Now let's talk about the spindle. We decided to upgrade from the Makita to an air-cooled 1.5 kilowatt spindle by Pon CNC. We chose this spindle for several reasons. 1, we only had access to 110 volts. 2, it's quieter than a router. 3, it's durable and lasts much longer than the Makita. And 4, it has a better call-it system. And last but not least, Pon CNC is an excellent vendor. Any questions we had were answered quickly. Let's talk about the Masso screen again. It's so small, we overlooked this for quite some time. But at the bottom part of the screen, just under the cycle start button, there is the job runtime. This is extremely important provided you take the time to sync it with your cut file program. You all may be wondering what this blank box is for. It allows you to change the speed of your spindle without having to go into the MDI screen. You tap the box and type in your speed you want your spindle to turn on, and then hit the spindle CW box just to the left. Once you hit that, your spindle turns on. This function allows you to warm up your spindle, which we highly recommend. You can do the same thing with the MDI screen, but doing it this way is a time saver. Now let's update the clock on our Masso screen. Right now it says 3:28 a.m. and I can promise you I'm not in my shop that early in the morning. So we're going to open the MDI screen. From there we're going to type in capital T-I-M-E semicolon, and then the time in military time. Then you need to hit the run button and then hit exit. Now the final upgrade is to connect your file transfer using Wi-Fi. We could show you how to do that, but a fellow YouTuber has a great video describing this process. So I want to give a quick shout out to Mitchell's Woodwork LLC. I've linked his video below. That was very helpful for us. So the tips and tricks that we just went through today is the boring part of the machine setup, but very critical to getting everything set up and running for you to be able to make projects like the ones behind me. These are my very first projects that I've ever done on the machine, my very first 2 cuts. This Frankenstein and Witch that I made for my daughter for Halloween. This machine is very user-friendly. I still consider myself to be a beginner, considering that these are my first 2 cutouts. So I'm excited for where it's going to take me on this journey as we continue to cut more on our OneFinity CNC machine.